Okay, we're here with the Peanut Gallery working on this laser project. So most of you started in VCarve. You created some shape here in VCarve if you were doing an ornament, and it's roughly 2.5 inches. I had created some artwork here in VCarve, but this artwork, because I did it as an outline, would actually all get cut out. So I'm going to pick a different project here. You don't need to do your artwork in VCarve. You can add the artwork later as in Illustrator. You can do it either way, and we've got videos on both. So I'm just going to keep just the shape that I need for my ornament here. And there's a video that already covers this, but if you highlight this and you go to File and you go to Export, you can save it as an Illustrator file, which is the software we need to open it. So I'm going to save it as Dairy Ornament 2. Just so I have a second copy, and then we might take a look at both of those. We can go ahead and close out of VCarve now because we're going to be working in Illustrator, and I'm going to go ahead and open this file up. So this isn't much of an ornament yet. I don't have any artwork that goes for it. But before I bring the artwork in, I want to go ahead and change the stroke so that it's the right size for the laser cutter. So what we need to do is select this. So I'm going to go ahead and got several tools open here. I'm just going to grab my direct selection tool, make a whole box, and change my line weight to 1/1000th of an inch. Now, you may not be able to do that because you may not be able to see the stroke. So you can go under Window and you can say turn on information, and it's going to give you, I'm sorry, it's not information, it's properties, I believe, which is probably already showing. Document info, properties. Yeah, it's properties. Okay, this is the one. Nope, it's not properties. Pardon me, which one is it? Oh, stroke. There it is. All right, so that's on. So now we can, the other thing that you might need to do is if your preferences are not set, if your units are not set to inches, you may need to set them all to inches in order to get that stroke to be correct. So right now, if maybe you might accidentally scale this thing and make it too big or distorted, I'm going to hit undo because I don't want to do that. Or maybe you've forgotten how big it is. So the one easy way to see is to go to View and go to Show Rulers. Where are my rulers? Rulers, Show Rulers. Okay, once again, we're set up in inches here, and I'm going to zoom out by hitting Control minus. And this is a giant document that I created here. That was a mistake. Illustrator. So I need to edit my artboard real quick. You may have made a mistake on this too. So I'm going to go to Document Setup and edit my artboard. And because I have my rulers set up now, I can change my artboard to whatever I want. So problem is, here we go. Got my direct selection tool. First thing I want to do is zero out my work to the origin. So notice my ruler, by coming here in the corner, I'm able to move my zero to the origin of my artboard. And I know that the laser cutter is 12 inches, so I'm going to bring this down to 12. I've got my ruler over here that I'm looking at, and I also can drag this guy down to 24, which is right there. So it's helpful to have the rulers on. All right, so now I know that my artwork is the correct size. If I wanted to put something in here for engraving, I could either type something in here by just grabbing my type tool, and I can type on a path. That's covered in a different video. Or I can just go to File and go to Place. Now this is really important because if you place something, it's going to create a link to it, and it is not going to, whoops, I had my text tool when I did that. Undo. Make sure you have your direct selection tool when you go ahead and place that, because that's going to confuse Illustrator. So we're going to go to place, go to whatever artwork you wanted, pull it in there. Now, right now it's covering up my line, but I can simply right click on this, go to arrange and send it to the back. And then I can drag it around if I want to orient it so that it's hanging with my compass here. So this is going to engrave as a raster. This is going to cut as a vector. If you were to trace this, you could have parts of this cut out. I'm not going to cover that in this video. When you're all done and you're happy with the size of this thing, and sometimes I go into my rulers over here and I pull in guides. By just clicking right here in the ruler, you can pull a guide in and you can get a feel. See that I'm taking up about 2.5 inches by about 2.5 inches. I could select all this and move it over a little bit and not use as much of the plywood. All right, so I'm ready to cut this ornament. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to save it on my computer in my folder that we're, this guy right here, same one. But this is real important. When this dialog box comes up right here, you need to change the format to CS6. This is really important because when you get over there, you're going to have all kinds of troubles if you don't do this. So hit OK. And then we can simply take this whole folder now. I'm going to get out of Illustrator here for a moment. And this is my laser project folder. I'm going to go up one, take this folder right here and copy it. And in the tech drive, which you guys all have access to, there's a laser jobs, and then under, what did we have it under? Lexi, do you remember what we called it? I know we created a folder. I thought it was for this period even. Shoot. Was it under my name maybe? Nope, it wasn't under there. Where did we? I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm going to make a new folder because this is taking too much time. So I'm going to right click and say new folder. And this one, I'm going to call it 1 period. What period is this? 7 laser projects. All right. There we go. So I'm going to come in here now and just paste my whole folder. So I want to, in this, in addition to having it in your local IT folder, I want to put a copy of your whole project there. So it's got your artwork, your VCarve file if you made one, and your converted IA file, which is the older copy. All right. That's kind of a long